is your dark side. The secret key to unlocking your true purpose? Jung's shadow theory explained. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Now imagine this. Every single struggle you face in life, that nagging self-doubt, the paralyzing fear of failure, the surge of anger you can't explain, the jealousy that whispers in your ear. What if none of it is just an obstacle? What if these weren't just things to fix or push away? What if these challenges, the parts of yourself you judge most harshly, are the most important map you'll ever receive? A map specifically designed to lead you directly to your deepest purpose, your greatest strengths, and the most authentic version of you. This isn't self-help fluff. This is about unlocking one of the most profound, life-changing concepts from the world of psychology and philosophy, Carl Jung's theory of the shadow. It sounds heavy, right? The shadow, like something scary in a dark alley. But what if this shadow isn't a monster to be feared, but a vital, misunderstood part of your soul? What if the very key to understanding who you truly are, what you're meant to do, and the freedom you crave, lies hidden within the parts of yourself you've been trying to ignore, suppress, and deny for your entire life? By the end of our journey together today, you won't just understand your shadow. You'll see how it holds the secret blueprint to your potential, your power, and a life filled with genuine meaning. And believe me, the final revelation we'll uncover may be the most astonishing, liberating insight of all. Carl Jung, a giant in the world of depth psychology, broke away from Freud to explore the deeper layers of the human psyche. And one of his most enduring and perhaps most challenging ideas was the shadow. Jung described the shadow as everything about ourselves that lives in the dark, unconscious basement of our minds. It's not just bad things. It's the collection of all the traits, desires, instincts, and potentials that we often unknowingly disown. Why do we do this? Because somewhere along the line, maybe in childhood, maybe through societal pressures, maybe from painful experiences, we learned that certain parts of us weren't acceptable. Maybe you were told, good girls don't get angry. So your healthy anger went into the shadow. Maybe you were ridiculed for being too sensitive. Your empathy and vulnerability got pushed down. Maybe you felt ashamed of a powerful ambition or a wild creative urge that seemed impractical. That vibrant energy went into the shadow too. It's everything you've tried to sweep under the rug, hoping it would just disappear. But the unconscious doesn't work that way. The more we deny a part of ourselves, the more power it gains over us from the unseen depths. It's like trying to hold a giant inflated beach ball underwater. The sheer force required is exhausting, and the moment you let go, it explodes back to the surface with incredible force. This is why the shadow isn't just passive, it's active. It influences our moods, our decisions, and especially our relationships, often in ways we don't understand. All right, this all sounds powerful, but how do you do this? How do you step out of the light and into the shadow without getting lost? It starts with awareness and courage. Become a shadow detective. Observe without judgment. Your shadow whispers, constantly, through your most intense emotions, your recurring dreams, your strongest reactions to others, even through procrastination or self-sabotage. Start paying attention. When you feel a surge of emotion that seems too big for the situation, pause. Instead of immediately judging it, get curious. Where is this coming from? Your triggers are flashing lights. We talked about this, but let's emphasize it. Your triggers are your most reliable guides to the shadow. The person who infuriates you, the situation that makes you feel instantly inadequate. These are precisely the places to look inward. Instead of focusing outward and blaming, ask the powerful question. What does this specific reaction reveal about me? What fear, insecurity, or disowned trait of mine is being activated? This is uncomfortable work, but it is profoundly liberating. Each time you do it, you take back a piece of your power. Talk to your shadow. Seriously, Jung encouraged dialogue with the unconscious. This can be done through journaling, meditation, or active imagination. Imagine your shadow is a separate entity, perhaps a figure or just a feeling. Ask it questions. Why are you here? What are you afraid of? What are you trying to protect me from? What do you need from me? Often, Your shadow isn't trying to hurt you. It's been trying in its own clumsy, unconscious way to keep you safe based on old hurts or outdated beliefs. Giving it a voice allows you to understand its purpose and integrate its energy more constructively. Embrace creative expression. The shadow often speaks in images and feelings, not just words. Engaging in creative activities, writing, painting, music, dance, even doodling, can bypass the conscious mind and allow unconscious material, including shadow elements, to surface safely. What are you drawn to create? What stories want to be told through you? This isn't a race. It's a process of gradual discovery and acceptance. There will be days when it feels overwhelming. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. The goal isn't to eliminate the shadow, but to understand it, accept it, and integrate its energy into your conscious life. So what happens when you start integrating your shadow? The shift is profound. First, you gain immense inner freedom. The constant effort to keep parts of yourself hidden is exhausting. When you start accepting these parts, even the messy ones, you release that energy. You stop being at war with yourself. This leads to greater authenticity. You can show up more fully in the world, in your relationships and your work. You no longer feel the need to wear a mask or hide your true feelings. This authenticity is magnetic. It attracts genuine connections and repels situations that aren't aligned with who you truly are. Your relationships transform. Instead of projecting your insecurities onto your loved ones and getting caught in endless cycles of blame, you begin to see relationship challenges as opportunities for mutual growth. You gain compassion for yourself and, as a result, incredible empathy for others, recognizing that everyone is navigating their inner landscape, complete with a shadow. Conflicts become less about winning and more about understanding. Your creativity flourishes. Remember all that energy tied up in suppression? It becomes available for expression, innovation, and bringing your unique vision to life. The depth and richness you gain from facing your shadow add layers to your creative work, making it more powerful and resonant. And perhaps most importantly, your sense of purpose solidifies. As you integrate more of yourself, you step more fully into your unique gifts and abilities, including those that were hidden in the shadows. Your contribution to the world becomes clearer, more potent, and aligned with your deepest values and energy. You move from searching for a purpose to living your purpose. Now we arrive at the culmination of this journey. This isn't just about individual healing. Jung believed that our inner work has a ripple effect, impacting the collective human experience. When you courageously turn inward and confront your own darkness, your fears, your biases, your capacity for judgment or harm, you lessen the likelihood of projecting that darkness onto others. You stop making external enemies out of internal conflicts. Imagine a world where individuals took responsibility for their own shadows, where judgment turned into curiosity, where fear was understood and integrated instead of projected as hatred onto other groups of people. By doing your shadow work, you are not just healing yourself, you are contributing to the healing of the collective human psyche. You are adding more consciousness, more compassion, and more understanding to the world. You are breaking cycles of unconscious projection and conflict that have plagued humanity for centuries. Your journey to wholeness isn't a retreat from the world. It's a powerful act of service to the world. You become an example of what's possible. An integrated, authentic human being who can hold both light and dark without being consumed by either. You inspire others, often without saying a word, just by living fully and authentically. This is the ultimate power of embracing your shadow. It unlocks your purpose, frees your energy, transforms your life, and contributes to making the entire world a more conscious, empathetic place. This journey into the shadow is not easy. It requires courage, patience, and a lifelong commitment to self-discovery. But the rewards, inner freedom, authentic power, deep connection, and a life lived on purpose are immeasurable. The shadow isn't a monster lurking in the dark. It is a wise, wild part of you that holds immense power and guidance. It's time to stop running and start listening. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, begins now. Look within. What part of your shadow is trying to get your attention? What uncomfortable truth are you ready to acknowledge? What hidden potential are you ready to reclaim? As you diligently work to understand, accept, and integrate the different parts of yourself, the light and the shadow, the beautiful and the messy, something truly extraordinary begins to happen, something that extends far beyond your own personal growth. This is the most profound insight Jung offered, and it has the power to change everything about how you see your place in the world. Here it is. Your personal journey of shadow work and individuation isn't just for you. It is a vital contribution to the healing and evolution of humanity itself. Why is this so? Because so much of the conflict, judgment, and suffering in the world stems from unconscious projection. When individuals deny their own capacity for anger, greed, fear, or prejudice, that energy doesn't vanish. It gets unconsciously projected onto other people, other groups, other nations. They become the convenient other who embodies everything we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. This is the root of scapegoating, discrimination, and so many destructive cycles throughout history. But when you do the brave work of turning inward, when you shine a light on your own unconscious biases, your own fears, your own capacity for less than ideal thoughts or feelings, you start to withdraw those projections. You stop seeing the enemy solely outside of yourself. You begin to understand that the darkness you fear in the world exists in seed form within you. And this understanding doesn't make you weaker. It makes you infinitely more compassionate, more empathetic, and more capable of genuine connection. You recognize the shared human struggle. You see that everyone, absolutely everyone, is wrestling with their own hidden parts, their own fears, their own disowned potential. Imagine a world where millions of individuals were committed to this inner work, where judgment was replaced with curiosity, where fear was met with understanding rather than projection and aggression, where the energy once used for conflict and division was reclaimed for creativity, connection, and conscious evolution. Your decision to face your shadow, to integrate your hidden parts, is a revolutionary act. You are breaking ancient chains of unconscious reaction. You are bringing more consciousness, more light, and more wholeness into the world, one courageous step at a time. You become a beacon simply by being authentically and fully yourself, shadow and all. This isn't just self-improvement. It's a powerful form of global service. Your inner work directly impacts the outer world. Your healing contributes to the healing of the collective. We've journeyed deep today into the hidden corners of the psyche, exploring the often feared landscape of the shadow. We've seen how this disowned part isn't a flaw to be eradicated, but a vital source of energy, creativity, and guidance. We've uncovered how it holds the key to understanding our triggers, transforming our relationships, clarifying our purpose, and ultimately, contributing to a more conscious world. Remember, this exploration is not a destination. It is the beginning of a lifelong journey. Integrating the shadow isn't about achieving some perfect state of enlightenment overnight. It's about a continuous process of self-awareness, acceptance, and courageously weaving all aspects of yourself into the tapestry of your life. There will be moments of discomfort. There will be times when your shadow surfaces in ways that surprise or challenge you. But with the insights gained today, you now have a map. You understand that these aren't setbacks. They are opportunities for deeper understanding and greater integration. Embracing your shadow is embracing your full, authentic humanity. It is stepping into your power, not by denying your weaknesses, but by understanding them. It is living with greater freedom, less fear, and a profound sense of being grounded in who you truly are. Your unique purpose in this life is intimately connected to this process. It is not something you need to chase down in the external world. It is something that unfolds from within as you become more whole. The energy, the insights, the resilience you gain from integrating your shadow will fuel your creativity, deepen your connections, and empower you to make the unique contribution to the world that only you can make. You might be thinking, okay, I understand the shadow, I see my triggers, I recognize the potential. Does that mean I'm done with shadow work? The honest and deeply human answer is no. Integrating your shadow isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. It's less like performing surgery to remove something and more like learning to live skillfully and consciously with all the different parts of yourself. As you integrate one layer of your shadow, perhaps acknowledging your buried anger and learning to channel its energy constructively, deeper layers will often reveal themselves. That initial anger might have been protecting a more vulnerable fear of powerlessness, which in turn might be connected to an even earlier wound around not feeling seen or valued. The psyche is like an onion, and integration is a continuous process of gently peeling back those layers with awareness and compassion. This is where self-compassion becomes absolutely crucial. There will be days when your shadow feels overwhelming, moments when you react from an old wound, project onto someone you love, or fall back into familiar patterns of self-doubt. This is not failure. This is part of the human journey. The key is to notice it, forgive yourself, and return to the practice of curiosity and integration. Be kind to the parts of you that are still learning to trust the light. Remember, integration does not mean indulging every dark impulse. It doesn't mean using your acknowledged anger to lash out destructively. It means recognizing the energy of anger, understanding its source, often a signal that a boundary has been crossed or an injustice perceived, and choosing a conscious response, perhaps assertive communication, setting a firm boundary, or channeling that energy into advocacy. It's about moving from being controlled by unconscious reactions to having conscious choice. The energy of the integrated shadow becomes a powerful ally. The fear, once paralyzing, transforms into caution and the understanding of risk. The anger becomes passion for justice. The vulnerability becomes the capacity for deep intimacy and authentic connection. The self-doubt, when acknowledged, can fuel humility and continuous learning instead of leading to paralysis. Your dreams will likely continue to be a source of guidance, offering symbols and stories that point to unconscious dynamics, still seeking integration. Pay attention to recurring themes, figures, or feelings in your dreams. They are often the shadow whispering its secrets and insights. Living with an integrated shadow means living with less internal conflict, more authentic self-expression, and a quiet confidence that comes from knowing and accepting the entirety of who you are. It means becoming more resilient because you've already faced your inner demons. It means becoming a more profound, complex, and truly human being. We stand now at the threshold of a new perspective. You've seen how your struggles are not flaws, but the raw material for your growth. You've glimpsed the immense power hidden within your disowned shadow. You understand that facing your inner world is not a retreat, but a powerful act that resonates outward into the collective. This journey into the shadow demands immense courage. It takes courage to look honestly at the parts of yourself you've been told are unacceptable. It takes courage to feel uncomfortable emotions without running away. It takes courage to take responsibility for your projections instead of blaming others. But remember this, the reward for this courage is nothing less than wholeness. The fragmented pieces of yourself begin to come together. The energy once locked away is freed. The internal war ceases, and a deep inner peace becomes possible. You step out of the shadows of your own unconscious and into the full light of your authentic self. This is the path to living your true purpose, not by becoming someone you're not, but by finally having the courage to be fully and unapologetically who you already are, shadow and all. Your unique contribution to the world flows from this place of integrated authenticity. Trust the process. Trust the wisdom of your own psyche. Trust that your struggles have brought you exactly to this point of potential breakthrough. The map is within you. You hold the key. Step forward. Embrace your whole self. Live from that place of profound truth and power. The world needs the conscious, integrated, courageous you. Thank you for embarking on this deep, meaningful journey with me today. The exploration doesn't end here. It's just beginning within you. Now, as we close this part of the conversation, consider this. What does wholeness feel like or look like for you in your daily life? What is one act of self-compassion you can offer yourself today as you continue this work? How will you commit to listening to the whispers of your shadow this week? Share your final reflections or commitments in the comments below. Let's inspire each other by walking this path towards greater consciousness and authenticity together. If this message resonated deeply, If it sparked a new understanding or courage within you, please share it widely. Help others discover the incredible power hidden within their own shadows.